everybody? It's your boy Mood616, and it is that time again for another DVD, Blu-ray, and collectibles update this time around. I don't buy very many collectibles because I'm not much of a, figure person and stuff, but I couldn't pass these up, man. The prices were right, and I've been just kind of, trying to put something together on my fireplace here. And yeah, and I got a couple other collectibles too in this update, which is, like I said, very odd for me. So this is everything I picked up in the month of August. I've already got some stuff in for my September haul, which won't be in this video. I know, the mail system around here is ridiculous, and yeah. So actually some of the stuff I had ordered in July that came in August. Such a fucking mess, but... Anyways, first up here from, I ordered a few things from Code Red. I actually had to get my man Derek to help me out with this package because they no longer ship to Canada, which is completely unfortunate. But so yeah, so I got him to grab me these three. First up is Sweet 16, and the funny thing about this, I actually put in my order I think about a week before they announced the Blu-ray. Which was so fucked up, but whatever. I don't really care for this movie anyways, I just want it for the collection. If you want to know more of my thoughts on this one, I did a review on body bags for it. It's a pretty below average slasher. It's actually pretty fucking shitty, to be honest, but yeah, it's worth owning. I've always wanted a copy of Sweet 16. Like I said, shitty film. Next up, speaking of shitty films, we got Mardi Gras Massacre. I've been putting off grabbing this one forever. It's one of the video nasties I did not have. Pretty much all the video nasties that I don't have right now are ones that don't have releases, which really fucking sucks. But I have seen this film before. It's absolutely horrendously bad, but at the same time, it's actually kind of enjoyable. I don't know, it's one of those so bad it's actually enjoyable. It's pretty funny. Good one to throw on, have some beers, eat some Cheetos, and watch. It's fucking terrible. It's still sealed, but I need to watch it again sometime. Next up here is Soul Survivor. Now this is one I actually do like. Basically the premise of this film right here is Final Destination. It's exactly what it is. It's about the sole survivor of this plane crash, who basically starts being followed by death, because she screwed up Death's plan. And there's like a whole pile of weird minions and weird things going on in this one, but essentially it has the exact same storyline as Final Destination. And rumor has it, actually, I think the producers or someone actually had contacted the writers of Final Destination and said, hey guys, like, have you ever seen Soul Survivor before? Because, your storyline is very, very similar to this one. Apparently, the writers of Final Destination said that they'd never even seen this film before. I highly doubt it. It's way too close, to be ignored, but I don't know. I recommend Soul Survivor, man. It's actually a pretty good film. So, and that's it for Code Red. Next up here, a couple Full Moon titles that I finally got in the mail. Fuck, I ordered these so long ago, and stupid Amazon just takes forever to ship, man. They're always out of stock. First up, I know this is the first two of the Jess Franco collection from Full Moon. Jack the Ripper. This one is actually pretty damn fun, I gotta say. For a Jess Franco film, his movies are so damn hit and miss. A lot of them are pretty bad. This one's one of his better films, which isn't saying a whole lot. It's still not the greatest, but Klaus Kinski's great in it. There's a lot of really cool set pieces, good shots in this one. It is a pretty well-made film, although at times a little boring and slow. It's still not a bad film, to be honest, so Jack the Ripper, I do recommend it. It's cheap, man. And finally got the second one in, which is Barbed Wire Dolls, of course directed by Jess Franco. Sorry about the glare, guys. It's just really oddly lit in here right now. The sun's on the weird side of the house. But yeah, anyways, Barbed Wire Dolls. I haven't seen this one yet. Looking forward to checking it out. So, it's Jess Franco. Fuck, man. You pretty much know what you're going to get with a Jess Franco film. It's going to be sleazy shit. Next up here from Midnight Releasing, they were kindly enough to send these over for me to review. First up is Blood Punch. This was fucking fantastic, man. If you want to know more of my thoughts on this film, definitely check out my review. It's on my channel a couple videos back, but all I'll say is it's like a horror version of Groundhog Day. It has very, very repetitive stuff in it. I know that might sound bad, but this is really fucking good. It's very clever and smart. The humor in it's very witty, and it's got a great payoff in the end. It's just a fantastically made film. Surprisingly, this one runs a long time, but it's awesome. I highly recommend Blood Punch. Definitely check it out. Next up is another film I really enjoyed, man. I thought this was just fantastic. It's crazy. This one is just like batshit crazy. It's strange and odd. And that's American Backwoods Slough, Hampshire. Yeah, this one right here, basically about a group of guys that are going up to the mountains for like one last kind of party before they go on with their next endeavors. And they break down, and these rednecks basically kind of kidnap them. They want to fuck with them and play games with them and shit like that. And you know, meanwhile, there's actually like this weird like Nordic Vikings out in the hills and stuff. And all three of these groups kind of, you know, bash. You know, it's fucked up, man. It's a really, really odd film. It's got some really weird techniques and shit in this film. Thought the acting was quite strong in this too, which I think I failed to mention in my review. But I did do a full review of this one, so you can check that one on my channel too. American Backwoods. Next up is a film called Cruel. I actually have 2 copies of this because I bought one and Midnight had actually sent me one over to review. My review of this will be up on Body Bags on Sunday. Yeah, if you want to know my full thoughts on that one, check this one out on Sunday on Body Bags. If you're not familiar with that, maybe I'll actually leave a link down below. It's another channel I'm part of. Next up here from Anchor Bay is a film called K11. I don't really know much about this at all. All I know is Jason Mewes is in this. It sounds kind of interesting, I guess. It takes place in a jail and shit. I think I don't know if it's, I think it kind of is a horror film, but I don't know. Like a deranged John Waters remake of Shawshank Redemption. That's a pretty cool quote. So, yeah, K11. Next up is one that just looks really interesting. It's from the found footage collection, which I know doesn't sound that appealing, but it's called The Night Visitor. Kind of cool, man. I don't know. I'm kind of digging this right here. Fuck, man, this glare is nasty. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, The Night Visitor. Kind of interesting. I kind of like the side on here, too. It's kind of got the... Yeah, you can see that. I don't know if that's upside down or what. Kind of cool. Next up here is Ejecta from Anchor Bay. This is the Canadian DVD release of it. It's sent over for me to review. I do have the Scream Factory Blu-ray on order. It just hasn't come in yet. It's been fucking back ordered, but looking forward to checking this one out. Actually, I directed. What was the director? He directed. Shit, I can't remember what film. but yeah, Ejecta. I don't know. I've heard mixed things already about it. Next up here from Anchor Bay is Inner Demons. I know this one was released by IFC in the US. I've heard really, really terrible things about this one. So I'm not really overly stoked to watch it. Like, I really haven't heard anything good about this, so I don't know. Inner Demons. And next up here is 6 Degrees of Hell with Corey Feldman. They sent this one over too. Yeah, I've heard this one's really, really bad. I actually always wanted to kind of check it out because, you know, I grew up with Corey Feldman and I'm always willing to check out anything that he's into, you know. Kind of curious to see what he's doing nowadays and shit like that, so. But yeah, 6 Degrees of Hell. Whatever. Next up here from Artsploitation Films is a film called The Summer House, which I will have a full review of this coming up pretty quick. It's a German film with a really fucked up premise. Basically about a grown man that's fallen in love with a 11-year-old boy or something, or 12-year-old boy. Yeah, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be nasty. So, looking forward to checking this out, man. Even though the premise sounds something that's completely, I'm 100% against, but you know, films like this can be really well made, so yeah, looking forward to checking that one out, The Summer House. Next up is a bunch of, lately I've been on this crazy fucking Chuck Norris kick, man. I don't know what it is about Chuck Norris, but I just love watching his films. First up here is the Scorpion release of The Octagon. Yeah, I would have grabbed this on Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray is just going for stupid money. And I found the DVD actually brand new for $15, which is also out of print, but so that's a pretty good price, so I just snagged it up, of course. I really like that they put reversible cover art on here, too. That's pretty fucking sweet. But yeah, I think that's what you'd see if you were going to order it, but yeah, this is a really fun film, man. Really great stuff. With Lee Van Cleef. You can't go wrong with The Octagon. Great film. Next up is a fucking classic, man. Chuck Norris and Breaker Breaker. This movie's fantastic, man. Really, really great stuff. I know my man Zach, he's a big fan of this film, but this is good stuff. Really great. First time watched just a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. Next up is a double pack here of Good Guys Wear Black and A Force of One. This is really cool, actually. I found this for super cheap, and I was like, why not? And I didn't even realize that it was actually coming on separate discs, which is really cool. I think it was like $6 brand new, so that was really cool. Haven't watched them yet. I seen this one years ago when it first came out, I believe in the early 90s or mid 90s, I think, 93, yeah. So I seen this when it first came out, Hellbound. I remember digging it back then. I'll have to check it out again, but you know, I pretty much am stopping my collection about the mid 90s for Chuck Norris, because everything he did after that I didn't really care for, but yeah, Hellbound. Next up here is actually the French version of the film. Of course, it does have the normal English audio and stuff on here. This one goes by Le Executioner de Hong Kong. This is actually Force Vengeance by Chuck Norris. This is a fucking great film too. Really big fan of this one, but yeah, I don't know why. I actually ordered the regular English DVD of this and I got this, but it was still really cheap, so whatever, I can't complain. Force Vengeance. Next up is another early 90s one, I believe 91, and that is The Hitman. Another one I've seen, I can't quite remember if I liked it or not or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Astonishing 3.5 stars. Great stuff, The Hitman. And a couple more here. We got Delta Force 2, which I have no idea why this movie doesn't have a Blu-ray release in Region 1. It's so fucking strange, but I know Delta Force, the first one does. I believe it actually got an Arrow release too. So I just grabbed the DVD. It was, I think, $1. I think I paid $1 for this, which was crazy, so whatever. Delta Force. And of course I grabbed this 2-pack, which is Missing Action 2 and 3, and I grabbed it just for part 3 because I already have 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. So I grabbed it for Braddock, Missing Action 3, which I don't think has a solo release in Region 1. I don't know, but anyways, this was like dirt cheap. It was like $4 or $5, so whatever. And getting closer and closer to completing my Chuck Norris collection. I think I'm just missing 1 film actually. Yeah, so anyways, moving along with the DVDs. I picked up this film released by Brink, and it's called 10, and I solely grabbed this because of the cover art, man. I just love the cover art. I think it's just kind of unique, man. The color scheme, the white case. Comes with this really cool, actually, this insert. I believe this is why it is a limited edition, because it comes with this. Really nice art card, actually. This is a weird film, man. It's basically about 10 girls that all kind of they all meet up at this weird, strange house out in this desolate area. They all have different occupations. They don't know each other, and they kind of they figure out that they were all brought there for a reason, and all strange things start happening in the house. People start dying and shit. It is one fucking strange movie. Even I watched this a couple weeks back, so it's not like that fresh in my memory. But I have to say, this one right here, I'm gonna have to rewatch because I have no idea what my thoughts are on this one, if I liked it or if I disliked it. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that I didn't hate it. So I'm going to revisit this one and kind of shape my opinions on it later, because this is fucking weird, man. This is a weird film. It just has the weirdest tone and characters and dialogue, and at first I couldn't even tell if it was a comedy or what the hell was, I don't know. It's not very often that I go into a film, or I finish a film and I go, I don't know what the hell I just watched. Next up here is Girl House, a slasher film, American slasher film. This is fucking awesome, man. Really, really good stuff, man. I highly enjoyed this movie. It was just really great. Love the premise. It's kind of like Big Brother with porno, about this girl that takes a job, and like it's basically a Big Brother house. You know, it's got cameras all around, and people pay a subscription to watch this online, and to watch this day-to-day life of these basically kind of porn stars. You know, they do private shows. They just do their day-to-day lives and stuff. And, of course, something happens with this crazy motherfucker played by Slane, the MC Slane, and he goes on a rampage. I gotta say, man, the killer looked fantastic. I thought Slane did a great job in a non-speaking role, and the kills were great, and good atmosphere. It was just a really, really well-made slasher. Highly recommend Girl House. Definitely give it a shot. This is the Region 2 DVD. I grabbed this for £5, which is respectable, you know, whatever. It's like $10 Canadian, so Girl House, good stuff. Another Region 2 slasher film that I heard really good things about. This is a Aussie flick called Charlie's Farm. This one has some very notable faces in it. Tara Reid, Bill Moseley, Kane Hodder, among people. I did a review on Body Bags, I believe, last week for this one. Really great stuff. If you want to know my full thoughts, you know, head over to Body Bags and check it out. But really great stuff, man. Love the killer in this. It's got a really fantastic ending. Great film, man. Awesome stuff. Next up here from Arrow Video is Slaughter High, also known as Jolly Killer. Did the reverse cover art because, you know, whatever. This is just an upgrade from my upgrade from the DVD that I have, that full screen piece of shit, to another DVD, but it's in anamorphic widescreen. I gotta say, man, the print on this actually looks pretty damn good. Probably the best it's ever looked. I hope this gets a Blu-ray release someday, because I love Slaughter High. It's one of my favorites 80s slashers. It's just such a great time. Love Carolyn Monroe. Love the killer in this. Awesome kills. It's just campy fun, man. Good stuff. And I actually got this brand new for, I think, $3. I swear it was a price error or something, because I snagged it up in a second when I saw that price. Next up is an absolute fucking blast of a film. This shit had me in stitches watching this shit, man. It was so funny. And that is Samurai Cop. Holy shit, is this ever fucking cheesy, man. It's definitely spoofing, you know, these type of films. In a sense, but yeah, Robert Zarr, Mark Hannon, Mark Fraser, shit, man, this was so much fun. I had me in stitches throughout the whole film. I was pissing myself. It's so fucking funny and ridiculous. The editing in this film and the music and just the characters, such a fun time. I highly recommend Samurai Cop. It was fun as hell. Cheap too, $5, brand new. Next up is a film that I was happy to find the legit copy of this, because I know this is in the Warner Archive collection, which is a burn on demand, and it goes for what, like $20 or $15 those things go for. And that's Night of the Lepus. This is the original release of it by Warner Brothers. This was really cheap, man. It was only about, I think, $5 or $6 brand new too. And you know, I was really stoked to find this, you know, just a legit copy, because I mean, really, the burn on demand was more than double the price. So Night of the Lepus, I actually did a review of this on Body Bags also. Fun shit, man. It's a killer bunny film. Scientists, basically, their experiments go wrong because a little girl sets out this one bunny free back into the wild, starts breeding, and it creates these monstrous rabbits, and they go on a fucking rampage. Such a blast. It's not, you can't take this shit serious, but Night of the Lepus, give it a shot. I really enjoyed it, man. I thought it was fun. Another film I really highly enjoyed was a film I'd actually heard mostly negative things, and then all of a sudden the reviews started coming around and I kept hearing good things. So I was like, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna give this one a shot. The DVD was $10, the Blu-ray was $20, I think, here or something. So I was like, well, obvious choice. I'm not a Blu-ray hoarder, so if I can grab something on DVD, I will. Hence this movie, From the Dark. I really enjoyed this, man. This was fantastic. Really interesting creature feature, and I love the atmosphere, and just everything that was going on in this film was enjoyable. It was really well made, very dark film. Great creature feature, though. I believe this is an Irish film, I want to say. Yeah, I think it's Irish, but yeah, this was awesome. Loved it. Really great film. Big surprise for me. Next up is a Midnight Movies double feature. I don't really pick up a lot of these anymore because I'm kind of afraid to pick up anything, you know, of these midnight releases, because it seems like Scream Factory seems to be releasing all these, even though these are 20th Century Fox films. I grabbed this because I had never seen either one of these films. It's Devils of Darkness and Witchcraft. I mostly got it for Witchcraft because I've heard really good things about that film, and I've always wanted to check it out. I believe this is on 2 separate discs. It's really damn heavy, so I still haven't opened it, but again, really cheap, like $7 Prime or something. So I was like, whatever, I gotta grab that shit. Next up from Mondo Macabro is How to Seduce a Virgin, and of course this is another Jess Franco film. I think maybe in the next couple months I might try to, you know, gather up all my Jess Franco films and actually make a Jess Franco video, because I swear I have about 50 or 60 Jess Franco films, and that might even be underestimating it, in which I bet you at least 30% I haven't even seen before. But How to Seduce a Virgin, Mondo Macabro, had to grab it. It's Mondo. I'm still missing a few Mondo Macabro Jess Franco films, but this one looks sleazy as shit. Next up is A Chinese Ghost Story. I've never seen this film. It was on a list of films. I think the 300 best horror films of all time, or or 300 horror films you have to see before die. I can't remember the fucking list now, but I had seen, I think, like, I don't know, about 285 of the films. There was like 15 of them I hadn't. And this was on that list, and I was like, okay, I gotta check this out, man. I've never seen a Chinese Ghost Story. I'll get around to checking this out, but I'm always intrigued by these type of films. Next up from Full Moon is Mansion of the Doomed. Now, I heard this transfer is real shit. I actually popped this in one night and never even pressed play. It just, the menu played. I got sidetracked and I never got a chance to watch it, but I've always wanted to check this one out too. It's another one that has great cover art, man, you know, Full Moon, but I wish they put a little more fucking effort into their damn, you know, into their fucking, the quality of their releases, because I keep hearing the transfers just shit, so that sucks. Next up here is a Redemption DVD, which I do not buy any of these, but this is one I've been after for a long time, because it doesn't have a Blu-ray release, but this one is directed by, what's his name? Norman Warren. He's done, you know, very, very notable films. Of course, I actually just reviewed Satan's Slave on Body Bags, which he directed too. He also did like Humanoid and shit. British film called Prey. Been after this one for a long time. I really actually like Norman Warren, man. I think his films are actually pretty decent. Pretty gritty and grimy 70s director, you know, type deal. But looking forward to checking that out. Next up is a Scorpion release. I know this was on Blu-ray at, what fucking website? The one where they sell the Twilight Times. I don't even fucking know. I don't know anything anymore. And that is The Rain Killer. Grabbed it on DVD because it was pretty much going to cost me $25 less. This was like 15 bucks or whatever, so the Blu-ray was going to cost me, I think, like 40 bucks or something, or 45 bucks. Fucking stupid. Our Canadian dollar sucks right now. I can't import anything. But yeah, The Rain Killer kind of looks interesting. I believe this is from the early 90s. Yeah, 1990. That's interesting. So, next up is another film that I have heard nothing but mixed reviews. Heard some people say they actually hated it, and others said it was actually worth checking out. I've been intrigued by this one because it's from the director of the Maniac remake, and it's I Lived. And this is one of those, you know, technological type deals, I believe, you know, cell phones and computers and things like that. I heard it's got a pretty interesting premise. I'm really curious to check this out because, honestly, I've had some pretty good luck with these type of films myself in the last couple of years. You know, becoming kind of a staple in horror right now, that, you know, these technological type films. But which makes sense because that's what society is all about right now, is, you know, technology. So I Lived. Another one that was recommended to me by many, many people. And surprisingly, I kept putting it off because I had no interest in this film whatsoever, because I'm not really generally a big fan of these type of films. And that's The Last Will and Testament of Rosalind Lee. This one I've been wanting to check out. Fuck, this glare is so bad. Yeah, the plastic sucks. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this actually, so I'll give it a shot. And last up for the DVDs is a Wild Eye / Raw release, and it's called Morbid. Oh my god. This movie is morbidly horrid. This is fucking terrible. This reminds me of, like, you know, it says right on the back, this is a low budget 80s slasher homage. Of course it is. The cover art is 20 or a million times better than the movie itself. That's exactly what used to happen in the 80s all the time. This movie probably has some of the most annoying filmmaking and characters I've ever seen in a slasher film. I couldn't even fucking tell if this was meant to be a straight up comedy, parody, or what was going on, but the death scenes are fucking terrible. The characters are probably the most obnoxious and annoying people I've ever seen on screen. I actually was getting pissed off watching this movie. I was so annoyed by it. This movie would get one of the lowest ratings I've ever given, man. This is fucking terrible. And like I said, it's pretty bad when I don't know if it was meant to be a comedy or not. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But with those performances, I don't even know how anybody could take this thing semi-serious. It was fucking terrible. Really, really bad. Like, poorly made. This thing was shitty. Yeah. So that is going to conclude it for the DVDs, and I think what I'll do now is I'll get into some of the figures and stuff that I picked up, and then we'll get into the monstrosity of Blu-rays that I picked up. I think I picked up about 40 DVDs and about 40 Blu-rays this month, which is very odd. I usually don't, that doesn't happen like that, so check you guys in a minute. Yes, alrighty, so moving along with this update and into some figures and, you know, little odds and ends that I picked up. Not much, you know, because like I said, I'm not a huge collector of them, but these ones I just couldn't pass up, man. Like, I just couldn't pass these up. Because they're kind of cool. I think they're kind of cute. I know that sounds really stupid, but I actually like the way they look. I think they're pretty neat. So, first up is a couple reaction figures. Reflection, wow. Reaction figures. I couldn't pass these ones up because, I mean, these are all classic characters, man. You can't not have these. First up is the Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street one. Yeah, I seriously could not pass this up because it looks fucking gnarly. Looks super gnarly, so yeah, awesome stuff. I know everyone's seen these, so I won't go too much into them, but next up is the Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th one. And of course I'm going to keep these ones all sealed too because I like the boxes, or the backgrounds. I think they look awesome, so yeah. And next up, had to grab Sam, of course, from Trick or Treat. This one's really neat, man. I think that's fucking super cool. Yeah, awesome stuff. Cool. And then we got Michael Myers, of course, Halloween, which is pretty damn cool. And last up here, we got Pinhead from Hellraiser. It's like Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth Pinhead. That's very random that they didn't use the first one, but so basically there was like 7 of them. I picked up 5. The only ones I didn't grab was Ghostface and of course the Crow. For some reason I didn't even have Ghostface, and maybe I'll get around to grabbing the Crow, but I'll try to grab the other 2 just to complete, you know, the 7 of them. But yeah, because I have a completist and I'm so OCD when it comes to shit like that. It'll just bug the shit out of me. But yeah. Next up here is, I was in this candy store, oddly enough, right? Yeah, fat guy like me in a candy store. Yeah, whatever. But I was in there grabbing some Jelly Bellies before I went to go see Straight Outta Compton. And because, you know, you have to have Jelly Bellies when you're watching Straight Outta Compton. I'd never been in this candy store before, and they had like a shit ton of lunch kits and stuff. And they actually had some pretty damn cool ones. I might even go back and grab a couple more because they're just fucking sweet, man. And so I grabbed this one right here. This is the Friday the 13th one, and it's just awesome, man. Like, even on the sides, this lunch kit looks better than the damn Blu-ray box set. At least they put some shit on the sides, you know, on both the sides and, you know, the back. At least they did this thing up right, you know. It looks awesome. It's really cool. You know, even on the top, underneath the handle, which is a nice little touch if you can see that, right? It's underneath there. I'm a big fan of these, man. When I was a kid, I had a few of these, and just nostalgia reasons, but maybe I'll give it to my little guy. I don't know. But yeah, Friday the 13th. Couldn't pass it up. They definitely had this really cool Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. And I was looking for a Nightmare on Elm Street one, but yeah, couldn't find one. And speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, man, my homeboy Godzilla, I know he didn't have to do this. Dylan, I know that you're watching this, and you know you didn't have to send me this. I know that you felt obligated because I give you a bunch of stuff, but you never have to return anything. And he went out his way to grab me this, and I know it probably wasn't cheap, because he knew I had grabbed the Friday the 13th one at HorrorCon in Calgary earlier this year with him, and he, you know, I kept saying, I was like, I really want that Nightmare on Elm Street one, and that is the Nightmare on Elm Street 3D poster. I just love the way these things look, man. They're so awesome. They're nice and heavy, good quality. And of course, you know, everyone knows that Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite franchise, and I just absolutely love the way these things look. They're just fucking so cool. So yeah, you know, not a whole lot of you know, figures and stuff, but you know, the shit's coming along quite nice. You know, maybe I'll do a little tour one day. It's not really that much to show, but it's kind of cool. I'm actually, the downstairs has changed quite a bit, so. But anyways, guys, that's the little bit of knickknacks that I picked up, which is strange because I usually don't have a section in my update for, you know, this type of stuff. If it's anything different than DVD and Blu-rays, it's VHS. But anyways, guys, come back with the Blu-rays. Stay with me. I got lots of fucking great Blu-rays, man. I picked up a shit ton this month, and yeah. See you guys in a minute. Yo! Alright, so let's continue on with this update, because it's probably going to be very long as usual. The Blu-ray stack. Yeah, what can I say, man? I just went a little overboard as I do every month, but I did watch a little bit of these. I just got a bunch more in, so I unfortunately haven't been able to check those out. But first up, this is kind of funny because I pre-ordered this, I think, I guess like 2 months before, or 3 months, before the release date or whatever, because it got pushed back. It finally comes out, and then of course it says on Amazon.ca, ships in 1 to 2 months, and it really did. It pretty much shipped in like exactly 2 months after the release date. And that is Grindhouse's Cannibal Ferox. I finally got this. I know everybody and their dog showed this off like 4 months ago, or 3 months ago, except for me, because I hadn't got my copy yet. Of course, just another ridiculously awesome edition from Grindhouse. These guys just fucking murder everything they put out. Love the fact they put the soundtrack in here. Great features. The PQ is great on this. It's just another outstanding edition. Everyone should have this. It's really good stuff. From Criterion, I hit up the Criterion sale, and I only grabbed 4 Criterions this time around. They're getting very scarce on the ones I want. There's probably maybe about 7 or 8 more Criterions that I actually really want. I'm very picky when it comes to these because they're expensive. But yeah, I'm getting down there for the ones that I want. And I finally grabbed the Blob, Steve McQueen. I love the original Blob. I mean, obviously I like the remake more. It's like my favorite remake of all time, but this is still a really fun film. I think Steve McQueen did a great job in this film. And, even the effects in the original Blob still kind of blow my mind. It's actually, they're quite well done for the time. And, what year was this movie? 1958. Not bad at all. The Blob, great stuff. Next up is a film that I wanted to check out for when we did the top 10 films of 1968 show on the podcast. Me and JP and Jeremy did. This was one that I wanted to check out. I didn't want to pay the $40 for the Blu-rays, and that's Kiriniko. I finally got this, of course, on the sale for $20, but it's been one I've been after for so long. It's been on my Criterion list ever since I made that list, so finally glad to get this and so stoked to check it out. It's in black and white, which I'm really stoked about. Next up here is a Criterion that, actually I never even bought this one. I'm totally lying. Derek actually sent me this one over in the package as a throw-in. Again, Derek, super, super nice of you to do this. And it's Sean Frankenheimer's Seconds film. Now, I know it's not necessarily a horror film, but he says this is a perfect 10 out of 10. And, Criterion releasing this type of film, I mean, I'm taking their words for it. That's going to be really good. So I'm really stoked to check this out. I'll get around to checking this one out sooner than later. And, yeah, I think I showed the other Criterion, actually, in my last update that I picked up. Which I can't... Oh, I think it was Don't Look Now. Anyways, here's the other one from that sale that I picked up. And it is Sallow. 100 Days of Sodom. I've still yet to check this out. I'm just so happy to finally have this, because this is one I kept putting off. Because I wasn't like overly that interested, but I have to see this one, man, because I heard it's just viciously gross and nasty and just kind of raw. So really stoked to check that one out. Fuck, man, this edition is super heavy too. I know the DVD edition's like a book, so... next up here from Olive Films is this one got re-released on Blu-ray. I can't remember who put out that Blu-ray with the double feature, but Student Body's got a Blu-ray release. I don't know why Olive decided to release this one. A film I did review on my 81 series. I still enjoy this film. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I think the first half of the film is better than the second half, but I'll have a full review coming up on Body Bags. I think next week I'll put it up. So. But yeah, Student Body is still a fun satire spoof. It's truly amazing, the jokes that they put in this film for the time it came out in 1981, right in the height of the slasher genre. That they recognized like all the tropes of, the filmmaking of slasher films. It's pretty interesting. Next up here from all the films is The Sender. I recently did a full-length review on my channel. I think it is my last video, actually. So if you haven't checked out that video, definitely give it a shot. Yes, the intro, that did hurt, and that's all I'll say. I thought I'd keep that in there, but yeah, this one right here, I did a full review on, so, check out that if you want to know my full thoughts. Next up here is actually a very odd one, released by Anchor Bait. I've been wanting to check this out because I'm a big fan of, anything documentaries. I love documentaries, man. It doesn't matter if it's horror related or whatever. I just love documentaries. Of course, this one is horror related. Corman's World. the story of Roger Corman. Now this was interesting because I generally don't buy documentaries on Blu-ray unless that's the only release that they have. But this one right here, the Blu-ray was actually, I think, $7 or $8 cheaper than the DVD, and I was like, well, I mean, that's just an obvious choice which one I'm going to go for. So I grabbed Corman's World. Still haven't watched it, but can't wait to check it out. Next up is the remake, the 90s remake that was, which oddly enough, they just came out with the documentary of the making of this film because it was such a disaster, apparently, which I do need to order, actually, from Severin, and it's like so expensive, though, so. But from 1996, the remake of the Island of Dr. Moreau. I've seen this film in the past, and I remember not really caring for it a whole lot. But I think I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of so-so, whatever. But not knowing that it had so many problems and shit. But I can't wait to see that documentary. But yeah, so I grabbed this. This was like a $5 Blu-ray, brand new. I couldn't pass it up. Next up, I grabbed the Andromeda strain. Fuck, I can't talk. I saw this movie years ago. I remember really liking this movie, and I've always wanted to check it out. So I couldn't pass it up. Again, it was another really cheap Blu-ray. So, yeah, the Andromeda strain, awesome stuff. Next up here from Artsploitation Films is Cub, and we did a full-length review of this on the podcast. So you can check it out. Warning, there is minor spoilers in it because this is kind of a hard one to talk about with three people without potentially or, kind of spoiling a little bit. But check out the podcast anyways. But yeah, Artsploitation, this cover art right here, fucking terrible. So bad. Just awful cover art. But yeah, just check out the review for our full thoughts. Yeah, it's okay. Next up here from Kino is a film that I actually reviewed on the podcast, and this one right here is just so much fun. Hadn't seen it in years and years, and I kind of forgot about the movie until Kino decided to put this out on Blu-ray. And that's Sugar Hill, just awesome film, man. Basically about a girl that's getting revenge against this mob that had killed her boyfriend. Because he didn't want to give up his club to these gangsters and shit. So they jump him, kill him, and she exacts revenge by, conjuring up this, what do you want to call him? I guess he's like, I don't know, he summons up, she gets this guy to summon up the dead, and these basically zombies go and take out this, the mob one by one. Love the look of the zombies, they're so unique looking, from the early 70s. Sugar Hill, great soundtrack, it's just a fucking fun-ass film. One of my favorite, exploitation-type films. It's just great stuff. Next up here, another one from Kino. Man, I bought so many Kino releases in the last fucking 2 months. It's insane. And that is The Land That Time Forgot. This is just awesome, man. I think the dinosaurs in this film look absolutely amazing. Some of the best-looking dinosaurs I've ever seen on film. And this one's from 1974. Really, really amazing film about these people that kind of go back in time. They're on this boat or on the submarine, and they kind of go through this porthole into this land where, as obviously the time forgot, which is full of dinosaurs and shit. So now they got to survive in there. It's just a fucking blast of a film, man. Really, really love it. Awesome flick. And speaking of the Island of Dr. Moreau, here is the, I guess this is the 1977 remake of, this is I guess this is kind of the first one with this title, but there had been films done before with the same story, I guess. But yeah, the 1977 version, of course, with Burt Lancaster, who I love. I love Burt Lancaster as an actor. I think he's just phenomenal. And Michael York, of course. This is a good film, man. I actually really enjoy this. I haven't seen it in years, but I was happy to see that Kino put this out, and again, it was super cheap, so couldn't pass it up. Continuing along with the Kino stuff, and I had to grab this because I love my blaxploitation films, and you can't go wrong with this. Oddly enough, I've actually never seen this movie, but I've heard really good things about it, and that's Truck Turner. Isaac Hayes, I know I've never actually seen this movie, which is such a shame, but can't wait to check it out. Isaac Hayes, blaxploitation. I mean, you just look at the back, him and that gun right there. It's fucking awesome. It's so gangster. But I can just imagine what this is gonna be like. It's gonna be fun shit. So, and Another one that I've always wanted to check out, never seen it before, 1970 blaxploitation, and that's Cotton Comes to Harlem. I had this one on a list to get on DVD for years, and then it came to Blu-ray, so I was like, fuck it, I'll grab this. And I don't know, Kino was having like a major sale. All the shit in Canada was so cheap. It was cheaper than it was in the US, and I was grabbing these Blu-rays for like 12, 13 bucks and shit. It was really cheap, so yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. Big fan of blaxploitation films. Next up here from Redemption is the latest release from them, number 47, which again completes my collection because I love these releases, and it's yet another Jess Franco film. Of course, this is a section 3 of the band's Video Nasties list, and that's Erotic Rites of Frankenstein. Yeah, this is one that made the third section of the ones that were potentially going to be banned or whatever. Never seen this film, always wanted to check it out. I heard this is actually legitimately one of Jess Franco's better films. It's very odd apparently and strange, but it's, you know, it packs enough, you know, interesting things in it to be actually considered a decent film. So The Erotic Rites of Frankenstein, looking forward to checking this out. Wow, I grabbed a lot of Jess Franco in this update. Next up here from Anchor Bay, and in Canada this was released by Anchor Bay. I actually, you know, have Wormwood coming. Actually, Derek's going to send me word with the Scream Factory edition, because up here it's fucking an import and it goes for... I actually can't even get the Blu-ray. There's nowhere to even order it for some weird reason. And that is Wormwood, Road of the Dead. I actually did a full-length review on my channel. This, if again you want to know my full thoughts on this one, definitely give that video a shot. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a pretty enjoyable zombie film. I think there's some really unique ideas in this film. It isn't of course, without its problems. I think there's certain things in this film that could have been explored more. But I will say though, overall it was pretty decent. There is some you know, CG in this one, not all practical effects and stuff, and the zombies don't look overly the greatest, but there's a lot of good things going on in this film to make it kind of unique and kind of stick out a little bit. But yeah, you know, it is pretty much like Mad Max meets, well, I don't know about Dawn of the Dead. I wouldn't say Dawn of the Dead, but I guess they used Dawn of the Dead because it's a zombie film. I guess you could throw any zombie film in there, but it's definitely kind of like Mad Max, like road horror. So pretty interesting premise, but there's certain things about it I did not care for. Overall, a decent film. So just got these ones in from Anchor Bay. They just sent me this package. I actually don't even really know much about a couple of these films, and this one right here, The Curse of Downers Grove, know absolutely nothing about this one. So, you know, of course I'll have a full-length review of this one coming up soon, so I'll let you guys know my thoughts on this one. Actually, the premise sounds pretty interesting. It's apparently based on, inspired by true events and based on the novel Downers Grove. So this one, who knows? Who knows? Next up, I've been hearing nothing but great things. I've only seen and heard a couple reviews, but the reviews right now are like fucking good. And I was super stoked to finally get this because I just love the cover art of this, man. I don't know, it just reminded me of 80s Slash, and apparently that's exactly what it is. It takes place in 1984, and that's Lost After Dark. I heard it's fantastic, so again, you'll see a full-length review of this one coming up for me. So if you're interested in that, look in the future. But yeah, looking forward to checking that out. Another one, man, that had my interest peaked like no fucking tomorrow. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if fucking... I know John Waters is actually in this one. Yeah, anyways. Suburban Gothic. So John Waters actually does have a cameo in this film. I want to say Jeffrey Combs actually is on the back here, which is pretty interesting that his name isn't even on this one. How in the shit do you not put Jeffrey Combs' name on this? Unless that's some guy that looks identical to him. But Suburban Gothic, man, this one looks pretty damn interesting. I'm really stoked. Again, full-length review of that coming up soon. And they also sent me over, so now I have 2 editions of Cub. And this is the Canadian release of Cub, which is way better cover art, in my opinion. Nice reds, and it's similar, but it just looks a lot better. It's not as bland, in my opinion. So yeah, so Cub, again, you know, check out the podcast for our thoughts on that one. This one right here, my man Godzilla actually bought me this because apparently this one is really hard to find. It's only available in Region 2, and like I said, it's actually really hard to find, and it goes for stupid money too. So thank you once again, Dylan for sending me this over. Takashi Miike film, Lesson of Evil. Apparently this thing is fucking batshit crazy. Really fucking beefing up my Takashi Miike collection right now because, yeah, I don't know, man. The guy's put out so many damn films. It's kind of hard not to have a big Takashi Miike collection, man, if you're a fan of his films. So, yeah, I can't wait to check this out. It just looks awesome. Awesome stuff. An upgrade, because I have the DVD, you know, and, you know, I wanted the film under this title. I'm a really big fan of the zombie film, and I think it's just one of those zombie films that, you know, I think some people just haven't seen or something. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about it for whatever reasons. Of course, I have it under the title, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie on DVD. So this was a warranted upgrade. I generally don't do this, but The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, great zombie film. Absolutely amazing stuff. This is such a great zombie film. Awesome stuff. Love it. Can't wait to check out the transfer. I hope it's good. Again, this Blu-ray right here on Amazon was going for like $30 to $33, $34 for so long. I don't know what the hell was with the price of this. It randomly came up as suggested one day, and it was like $14. And I was like, holy shit, that's more than half off than it usually is. So I had to grab it. And it's one of my favorite Vincent Price movies, and that's House of Wax, man. I absolutely love this movie. There's something about this film that I can watch over and over and over again. I don't know if it's Vincent Price's performance in the film or what it is, but I just love the way this film is structured and just the feel of it. And I guess it's kind of very sadistic too, you know, with what they're doing in the film. If you've never seen it, I won't ruin it, but it's got a young Charles Bronson, I believe, is in the film too. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he is actually. But yeah, House of Wax. This shit is just fucking awesome. I love this film. Next up is actually not even an upgrade because oddly enough, I never even had the DVD of this. God knows why I never had it. Rewatched this the other night and I just fell in love with it. It's such a great film. Great stories, man. Really, really great stories. And that's heavy metal. Of course, the soundtrack is just batshit awesome, but really enjoyable. I personally love this type of animation so much. It's what I grew up on, and it's very nostalgic. Yeah, this is just an amazing film. Honestly, the Blu-ray looks pretty good. You know, I mean, it is what it is. It's not like spectacular or anything, but you know, it was super cheap. $7 for the Blu-ray. Why not? Another film that was sent over by my man Derek. One that, for whatever reasons, is going for $50 Prime on Amazon.ca, which is completely laughable. Who the hell is going to pay that? And that is Lee Van Cleef and Day of Anger, spaghetti western. Of course, I'm such a huge fan of spaghetti westerns, and this one I heard nothing but good things. I can't wait to check it out. I love Lee Van Cleef, man. He's such an amazing actor. He's just so batshit awesome. He's just his presence is so amazing. But yeah, Day of Anger, looking forward to checking this out, man. Awesome stuff. And I got a couple more arrows here. First up is Island of Death. I actually bought this off my man Turi from the Facebook group. Yeah, I apparently had a... No, I think he sold me his copy because he didn't. I don't think he cared for the film, but anyways, he sent me over this one. This unfortunately came just destroyed. Like, I can't even open up this thing right now. Like, it actually, oddly enough, shuts, but it's... Oh, there's a piece of the case right there. It came destroyed. Like, the package was flat, and like this thing is just... It's all fucked up, man. It's such a shame. I felt bad for Turi because he said, you know, he'd send me out another one. I was like, okay. I actually thought he meant he was going to send me an empty case just to replace it. But then I opened up the package and he actually sent me a brand new one. So unfortunately, I think he kind of lost money on that deal. But yeah, Island of Death, man. This one kind of tries to break every single fucking, you know, taboo known to man. It's a great film. I haven't watched the Blu-ray yet, but I have the Arrow DVD. And I can't wait to check this out again. It's been so long since I've checked it out, but Island of Death. Next up, I grabbed The Bird with the Crystal Plumage fucking Slipbox edition. For some weird reason, they had this Prime on Amazon CA for like $14. I was like, okay, I'll definitely go for that. So had to grab it. One of my favorite Argento films. I think this might even be one of his best films. And then oddly enough, it was like one of his first films, or his first film. But yeah, you know, The Birds of Crystal Plume, it's amazing giallo. So, and last up for the arrows, I picked up the Stray Cat Rock box set. Next month you'll see a bunch more stuff. I hit up the Arrow sale again, so I grabbed a few more things, of course, because I love my Arrow. But I've been, since they announced this, I was like, shit yeah. This is the girl that she starred in like Lady Snowblood and Blind Woman's Curse, which has been released by Arrow also. You'll see some of those in my next month's update. But this pack right here has Delinquent Girl Boss, Wild Jumbo, Sex Hunter, Machine Animal, and Beat 21. Pretty cool pack. Comes with a nice little booklet here. Pretty nice, man. Really good paper. And of course it comes like this. All the discs are on separate. Right there. Pretty cool stuff. I really can't wait to dig into these because I love these, you know, these Japanese, you know, films. I don't know, man. I can't fucking wait to check these out. They look batshit crazy, actually. They look bizarre, so that was a good deal. And last up here, the Scream Factories that I picked up. I'm still waiting for a couple. Actually, like I said, I got a couple of September ones in already, so I'll show those in next month. But I'm still waiting on a couple that I had ordered. They're back ordered for whatever fucking reasons. I know Ejecta is one of them, which I have the DVD, but I didn't get that yet. First up, the double feature of Metamorphosis and Beyond Darkness. Oh my god, these movies are so cheesy and fun. Metamorphosis, about this scientist that, you know, is trying to, an anti-aging serum that he's trying to develop and stuff. Anyways, he tries it out on himself, and it just kind of goes insane from there. Just put it that way. Really cheesy film, fun stuff. And then Beyond Darkness is actually a film I wanted to check out for a long time. It's from the director of Troll 2, of course, Claudio Fragasso, however you pronounce his name. So you pretty much know what you're going to get. I describe Beyond Darkness as a film like, if you took The Exorcist, The Beyond, and Poltergeist and put them together, you get this film. Rips off all those movies. It's fun as hell, though, man. Basically about a man of God that moves his family into this house. They don't know, what they didn't know is that it sits on an area where a bunch of witches were burned and stuff, so of course all the supernatural shit starts happening around the house. And now they gotta fight against it, and 4 people get possessed and go batshit crazy and stuff. It's fucking all those type of films, but it's so much fun. It's really poorly, at times it's kind of poorly made, but so much fun. Great scores in both these movies, by the way. The music's fun as hell, so I highly recommend those. Next up is Pierce Bronson in Nomads. I believe I've never seen this movie. I don't even think I've ever heard of this movie before. So, I mean, that's, I guess, a one-up for Scream Factory. I don't think this is probably a great film by any means. But yeah, I'm willing to check it out, though, of course. Dark Summer. Really, an IFC Scream Factory release. I did a full-length review on Body Bags if you want to know my thoughts. Again, I did a lot of reviews on these films, man. You know, you can check out that. I really enjoyed this movie, though. That's all I'll say. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. You know, if you want the premise and stuff, go to the review. But I liked it, man. I really enjoyed it. Next up here is the Toolbox Murders. I did a review on my channel for this one. I wasn't planning on doing a review for this one, but I finished watching it, and I was like, I have to talk about this one. This one is just fucking... It's not really that great at all. It's kind of like the meaning of torture porn in a way. Like, it's, I hate that term, but that's kind of what it is. It's really, really different than Tobe Hooper's remake. It does start out where that one leaves off, and it does, I guess, have a little bit of continuity is what they did. I think that's kind of what they kind of put it together. I don't know. But yeah, I guess this is the director's approved cut because it was released under Baby Coffin or something like that before, which was not approved, and this is actually the real cut. But, you know, it has its moments, but fuck, man. Ugh, not a great film, but the Blu-ray looks fantastic. I can't, like, the way this movie was shot and for how dark it was, it looks really good. Next up, another IFC Scream Factory release, and that's Alien Outpost. This one right here is just a big bag of shit. I fucking hated this movie. It was really, really not my thing at all. It takes place in the universe, and, you know, or in the universe, in the future. And, yeah, in 2021, the invading race of aliens known as the Heavies are narrowly defeated in the first Earth War. Yeah, so it's basically about these soldiers that are at this post and stuff, and they're trying to defend against these Heavies and stuff. So there's monsters and the aliens and a bunch of shit, but it just never grabbed me, man. I just was really kind of bored at times, and it just felt like it was dragging. And I don't know, man. I didn't really care for it. It's kind of done like a documentary style where they'll show some clips and they'll go to interviews about like the survivors and stuff, and it's kind of like that type of structure. It didn't really do a whole lot for me, not at all. And then last up for this entire update, so if you're still watching, big ups. It's amazing. And that, of course, is Wes Craven's People Under the Stairs. Yeah, rest in peace to Wes Craven, man. So sad that Wes died. I mean, you know, it's just a legend, you know, and it's really, really sad, and my condolences go out to everybody in his family. But yeah, you know, you got to celebrate Wes Craven's life, and no better time to have, you know, the People Under the Stairs Blu-ray come out, and Shocker, which I should have had already. For fuck's sakes, man, it shipped like last week, and I don't even have it yet, so I don't know what the hell's going on with that shipping, but I really enjoyed this. I thought the transfer was awesome on this, actually. It looked really good. And I have to say, this is actually one of my favorite commissioned artworks for Scream Factory so far. This is up there with Day of the Dead for me, and Dolls, probably my favorite ones so far. But I don't know, don't mark my words on that. I can't really think of which ones are. But yeah, People Under the Stairs, great stuff. So that is going to do it for this August monstrosity of an update. So yeah, you know, if you're still watching this video, like I said, that's awesome. I know these videos are really, really long, and I probably talk too much because I love to hear the tone of my own voice. Some people would say, yeah, they're probably right. I'm not going to disagree with that. I got a real sexy voice. Just joking. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys next month. I don't know how big my next update is going to be. I'm actually going to be gone most of September anyways. So pretty much when I come back, I probably won't have seen a lot of the stuff, so I won't really have a lot to report on. But just look out in the next month for a lot of reviews, because I'm going to try and get a lot of reviews up, because I have all these screener copies and stuff to do. But be on the lookout for those, and I'll check you guys out at the end of September for another update. Peace out.